So should you pay off your debt first or should you build up an emergency fund? So in this video, I'm going to talk about that, and I'm going to talk about my situation, a personal situation where I had an emergency and I also have debt. So I'm going to talk about my rational thinking of why one is better than the other. So stay tuned. Let's go. So I'm going to just be straight up with you. I'm going to just tell you right now that an emergency fund is definitely, for the short term, more important than paying off the debt. Usually you're in some type of payment plan and there's not somebody holding a weapon to your head talking about, I need that money right now. I always thought, okay, the emergency fund is only for emergencies. Like, what if something happens and blah, 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 tire flat, you get sick, and it is for all those things. But the reason why you have it is because you don't know when the emergency is going to happen. Of course, accidents happen always, but we need to have the emergency fund because it gives us mental clarity and time to plan for our future and other things like paying off debt. Now I'm going to go ahead and give you this scenario. So basically, I put my Bitcoin up as collateral and I borrowed $40,000 for it as a loan. The value of Bitcoin, when I had put the 60,000, Bitcoin was 120,000. Bitcoin started falling from there. So Bitcoin went to 120,000, 110,000, 100,000, 90,000, boom, 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 low. So as the value of my Bitcoin went down, my risk went up. My percentage that the loan was taking was going up. So the company that had my Bitcoin sold it in order to recoup their value of what they were letting me borrow. Sure, I could have paid off the loan as time was going on, but I was already borrowed in the loan, right? So what I could have done was have a savings. I could have had about 5,000 or more dollars saved, and I could have deployed that so I can put it towards the loan when Bitcoin started taking. And imagine if I didn't even have, so when they sold my Bitcoin, I still had some money left over. So that was nice. That was good. You know, I had about $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 left over. But what would have happened if it took all my money away and I didn't have an emergency savings? I would have been in a bad spot. So same thing. We think that paying off the debt is great. It is good because, you eliminate that stress, but then you have no money. Say if you lose your job, you pay off your debt, but now you have no savings. So what happens if you get into a car accident, you get sick, somebody breaks in and steals this or that? This is where the emergency fund comes into handy because the emergency fund covers you until you're able to build back up to where you need to be. And so, yeah, the emergency fund is just a necessary thing. You can't really do too much. It is a structure and it is an order. I didn't really realize the importance of it. Again, the importance of the emergency fund is the liquidity, is the ability to have cash flow, is the ability to have money to be able to be taken out and be moved to somewhere else. If you don't have the ability to do that, then you're going to go into even deeper debt. Why is going into deeper debt worse? It's because when you borrow money from people, they add appreciation, they add interest. This interest you can have $1,000 loan, right? But after 12 months of you not paying that $1,000 loan, and let's say it's at 20 to 30% interest, that $1,000 is going to be $1,300. So you need to pay off your debt as soon as possible, but you also need to have an emergency fund just because if something does come up and you have to go into deeper debt, you're going to be owing even more money. And so, the first thing you should do is stack up at least 3 to 5K. Really stack up 1K. Most adults in the United States do not even have $400 for an emergency. You need to have some money just in case some shit hits the fan. And once you pay off your debt, then boom, you can start investing and all that different type of things like that. If it's some type of investment that it's just like it's going to make you money right now, like investing into yourself, investing into a business, something that that you can take this and flip this, then okay, go ahead and do that. If it's very low risk, okay, fine. But if you don't know and you're just speculating, then forget all that. I'm telling you right now, save the money. That's why I live in my car. That's why I live below my means, because I'm trying to stack up as much money as I can by the end of the year. I don't care if I have $10,000 saved, 20,000, 40,000 saved. It's not enough. The economy nowadays, rent is so high. People can spend $1,400 to $2,000 on a 2 to 3 bedroom house, and that's pretty decent overall, comparatively, but not entirely. Like, if we were coming from back in the day, $10,000 could have got you way more. $10,000 is really like $6,000 today. So having that emergency buffer is so crucial, because you just never know what's going to happen, and you never know what life is going to bring towards you. So yeah, that's why I would say definitely do both. You can do both. You can pay off your debt and emergency fund. But if you're paycheck to paycheck and you barely feeling like you got money now, you need to put some money away just in case. And in that way, that'll give you the buffer. That'll give you the clarity to be like, okay, I can actually afford it. Because if anything happened, okay. But you cannot touch your emergency fund. The emergency fund is not to touch. It's just like, you have to imagine that you don't even have it. I just hit my goal of saving $3K. That's separate from my actual investing money. I have investing money, I have saving money, but I had saved up $3K and I cannot go lower than $3K. I'm about to put that into a high yield savings account and just forget that I even have it. If something goes down, then that's my money just for in case time. But yeah, you guys, that's all I wanted to say. Click on this video to talk about more real, raw, living in your car, Bitcoin financial videos. My name is Sanyana-san. Like this video if you like it, comment below, and let me know what you think. I'll talk to you guys next time. Peace.